Fasten your seatbelts. You're going on a trip.
We're sending you back to the future.
The future is here on video cassette from MCA. Take home the movie that blew America away and drove audiences wild.
An absolute dream.
The hottest thing to come to the screen. Steven Spielberg presents a Robert Zemeckis film. Back to the Future. Now on video and in stores everywhere.
Whoop, hang on. You can't have too much Huey Lewis or we'll get sued. All the artwork on the website this week points to the 40th anniversary of Back to the Future. So much to unpack. There is an absolute 80s time capsule in this movie, but with throwbacks to the 1950s. It may be the perfect 80s movie. We're going to kick it around with my bud, Marc Boucher, and we're going to start that right now. All right, welcome in, Marc.
I am so happy to be here, Scott. How are you?
Man, I'm glad to have you. I'm great. I guess you could tell from the music, we are there. This year is the 40th anniversary. Oh my God, I need to sit down. We're old. 40th anniversary of Back to the Future.
Man, that is crazy.
What's going on, Marc? Where did it go?
I don't know. I mean, you know how time flies faster when you get older, and that's a true
thing.
When
you go 88 miles an hour, that's true.
Or you go, you know what's funny? We're doing this episode. When I set my cruise control on the interstate heading to the gym, I set it to 88.
Nice nod. And if you explain it to the highway patrolman, he'll understand if he's our age.
He would, I think. And also, 20 miles an hour over the speed limit. If you go 21 miles an hour over the speed limit, that's a felony. That's reckless driving. Anything less than 20 is just a ticket. So, it's a quick stop. Be nice to the officer and, accept the ticket. And you'll be on your way in 10 minutes, right? Not the end of the world.
That's a good point. You may not even get the ticket.
May not even get the ticket as long as you're nice. And 88 miles an hour, I mean, in a 70, that's not really stupid. That's not reckless driving fast anyway. No. And I mean, in most of the time, I'm just keeping up with traffic. But I like, I'll set the cruise control at 88. And in my mind all the time, I'm like, I'm driving to work right now and I'm going to see some serious shit.
Yes. Between Oklahoma City and the state line there up at Joplin, Missouri, there's two turnpikes, one to Tulsa and then past Tulsa on up to, where Kansas and Missouri meet. Yep. And I went to college way up in the corner of the state, up in Miami at NEO. And I was going 81 miles an hour going back to campus after spring break or Christmas or something. And a highway patrolman was parked sideways on the turnpike and pointed at me to get over. And I guess he got out of the way because you'd get run over. He was like, do you understand how dangerous this is? And yeah, kind of. I'm sorry. And I got my ticket, a big ticket. And then years later, that stretch of highway is now 80 miles an hour posted.
Do they have any idea how dangerous that is?
They obviously 81 is right out. 80, that's fine.
Go for it. 80's perfect, man.
Right. Back then, I guess the speed limit was still 55, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I remember nationwide it used to be 55.
1990. Anyway, all right. Long story, longer and harder to sit through.
Yeah, sorry about that.
All right, well, let's set the scene. 1980s, mid 80s. It was first of all, it was a perfect teen 80s movie that brought in the parents too because it had the nostalgia hook from the 50s, what they remembered. Teen angst, rock and roll, plutonium theft, skateboards, Reagan era optimism, and the Libyans were the bad guys.
And they had a sweet van too, that microbus, that VW.
Yeah, did they ever?
That was a sweet ride.
That was the throwback. The thing that brought this on, first of all, is this year's the 40th anniversary. Wednesday of this week was the actual date that was on the DeLorean for Back to the Future 2, except it's 10 years after this date that they, this movie about the future.
Mm-hmm.
We're now 10 years past that.
We're 10 years past the 1985 baseline, like the original timeline.
We're 10 years past
the future
part
one.
2. Yes.
Oh, man, that's even worse.
I know. First of all, when we were little kids, we were promised flying cars and an entire meal in tablet form. and hoverboards, and none of that happened.
Not yet.
It was a lie. It was supposed to be the year 2000. Planes were going to fall out of the sky, and then we all have jets and cars.
You know who Tim Wilson is, the comedian, musician? Anyway, he's got a song called Where's My Jetpack? It's exactly what you're talking about. Just on your own sometime. Give it it's great. Yeah. It's great.
So let's go back here. Do you remember when you saw it? Did you see it in the theater?
Oh, I saw all of them in the theater. Yeah. And I remember standing in line. I remember everything about it.
Hey man, it was huge. First of all, Zemeckis and Steven Spielberg, it's not going to miss. It's going to be a great movie.
Yeah, written by Zemeckis, right? And Spielberg produced it, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, we got ourselves a winner here. If I'm the studio, I write him a blank check. All right, fellas, go make some magic. Get Huey Lewis and the kid from Family Ties and go make some magic.
Mm-hmm. And I think if I remember right, and I literally just remember this, wasn't the time machine originally going to be a refrigerator? And then they went with a DeLorean instead?
I don't know. How does that make sense? You can't. It's hard to get a fridge up to 88 miles an hour.
Yeah, they probably would have come up with some other paradigm probably for that. I mean, also in the 80s, Zool came out of a refrigerator.
Well,
so there's some precedent.
Spielberg reused that idea in the fourth Indy movie to survive a nuclear blast.
Right.
In a refrigerator. So I guess there's precedent. I don't know. It's worth looking up. Good job, Scott, doing your homework for the episode.
And we've all learned that we can get drop kicked by a nuclear bomb 3 or 4 miles as long as you're inside a fridge.
Yeah.
You're going to be okay.
They're death traps for children. We always heard that you can't have an empty one in your garage because
you're going to kill all the kids in your neighborhood. Yeah.
Every neighborhood child will line up like it's a kissing booth to get in that thing and suffocate. So you can't do that. But you can survive a nuclear blast if you have one. So
priorities.
Right, I get it. So what's the story here with that? I remember how big this movie was. I would see kids in vests, those puffy vests that Marty wore.
It's called a life preserver, Scott.
That's right. What are you, Merchant Marines? What was that line?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, back then, nobody wore vests, but that did look a lot like a life preserver. That was accurate for the time.
I had one. I think I had one around when the movie, I might have predated Marty, which just shows you that they used current trends and,
they did obviously a lot of research. Yeah.
You're a health guy. Yeah. You own a gym. Tell me what 1985 comfort food you would still eat if calories weren't for real. You could do a whole day of this.
There used to be, Pop Secret used to make a microwave popcorn that had some sort of liquid cheddar cheese in it that would pop with it. And it was addictive. I mean, I think legitimately addicted to it. I would come home after school and I would pop up one of those and then I would go and binge watch In the Heat of the Night on TV.
The cop show?
The cop show with Carol O'Connor. You're right.
With
it was the
Bunker.
Archie Bunker was the sheriff. Yeah.
What an odd child.
I know. I was, for some reason I got hooked on, but I'd come home, I'd make that I think it was Pop Secret that made it, and they discontinued it after a while because the cheese was giving everybody cancer, I think.
Did you do air quotes around cheese?
Yeah, it was definitely not cheese. But it didn't matter. They told us it was cheese, so my brain made it taste like cheese, and I ate a lot of it. So that's what I would go back to. They'd have to start making it again, but that would be my. What about you?
Those puffy Cheetos balls, and they had them in a little canister.
Yeah, like a fat Pringles can.
Yeah, it's a great way to put it, and probably appropriate. I think those things were just packing peanuts dusted with that yellow stuff.
Yeah,
but I loved those things.
No,
I don't know. I don't think you can get
super good.
So the studios, of course, are going to get on the bandwagon. The 40th anniversary. There's going to be an IMAX reissue where, the John Williams score, when he opens the DeLorean door and you hear that horn, kind of like the Jurassic Park French horn sound.
Yeah.
It's just, it's really cool. I imagine on IMAX, that's going to be quite a spectacle.
Especially, imagine seeing the IMAX re-release of these movies, but in Las Vegas at that big ball thing. I forgot what it's called.
Was it the Sphere?
The Sphere,
globe,
yeah, because I think that's one of the
bowl.
bigger IMAX screens, around on the inside of that thing.
Yeah, that
I would
be
like
pretty
to see
cool.
that. Yeah.
Is there a piece of tech from the second version, that one where they went to the future, that you wish had caught on?
Yeah, that holographic display on the side of the building where the dinosaur came out and it looked like it was coming straight out into the square.
Oh, they've got those in Japan. I think in Dubai.
They have
I've seen those.
Right, but they're just really good 3D. They're not genuinely holographic. It doesn't look like the image is actually out in space.
Oh,
it does
really?
when you watch a video of it, but not when you watch it in real person, in real life.
No.
But that would be kind of cool. We don't have that yet.
You got to go to Hill Valley for that?
You do. It's the tech capital of the world.
Did you see the cool twist? Not really twist, but kind of the subtle hint in there when he goes that first night to the Twin Pines Mall where he meets Doc Brown. And then when they show that mall again at the end, after that tree was knocked over, it was the Lone Pine Mall.
No, I did not catch that.
Very subtle, very cool. That's in that
what
movie.
An Easter egg. That's pretty cool. I did not know. I'm gonna have to go check this. So it went from Twin Pines to Lone Pine.
Yeah, because the tree got knocked over. Now, I imagine there's plenty of those in that movie. That's the only one I've noticed.
Yeah. No, I bet you.
And then there's a lot of jokes, like time travel jokes, like where he's in the 50s and he wants a Pepsi free, and the guy said, like, you want a Pepsi, you can pay for it.
Yeah.
The zany misunderstandings, you get a few of those.
Yeah, the sugar epidemic hadn't quite kicked in yet.
Right. So Michael J. Fox has a book called Future Boy that goes into detail about the movie and the production of it. I haven't read it yet. I'm going to. And I was thinking, what would be a great tie-in? I thought about a giveaway for this episode, but a couple of people have dissuaded me from the Michael J. Fox bobblehead.
Why? That would be cool. And I mean, just the sort of unsaid, tasteless, subtle joke that would go along with that is just phenomenal.
I don't know how subtle it is.
It's not too subtle, but no, that would be.
Like I said, a lot of people are piling on the nostalgia of this. It really encapsulated both the 80s and, again, the parents going to the movies that, their teenage years, the 50s. My mom and dad loved it for that reason. Like they said, it was they did a great job. The real fidelity to the time on both eras was really well done. Gibson Guitar has kind of jumped on the nostalgia part of this. There is a missing cherry red Gibson ES 345, the one Fox plays during the Johnny B. Good scene at the Enchantment Under the Sea.
Beautiful guitar. Is that the same one he was playing in the beginning with the big amp?
No, this one was, and that's the problem, because this guitar wasn't made until, I think it was 1960 is when this model came out. So it was a little flaw, but it was that big-bodied Gibson guitar that was pretty synonymous from that era. Unless you're Buddy Holly and playing that Tex Rock, with a Stratocaster, those hadn't hit their stride yet. But yeah, these big guitars.
Yep. The really cool ones are the ones that had the tremolo, the whammy bar, and it had that big extra.
Well, the Bixby on the back and they would have the
and it had that big.
Those were so cool.
Yeah, the F-holes but the whammy bar was that big, wide, flat piece of steel. It wasn't just like a cool guitar.
Yeah, I always imagined those when I would hit the water fountain at my elementary school. It had the handle on the side that looked just like that.
It looked just like it's the same thing. Yeah,
it was very cool. So they have a website, losttothefuture.com. And they have a tip line, and they're doing an all-out search for this guitar because it was a prop, but it was a functioning guitar, of course. And they've got the ID number, and they said you can identify it by a solid 12th fret inlay. The usual has that split parallelogram, which this is nerdy. I'm getting into the weeds. I watched Rambo with a buddy of mine from school, and he was a real 2A dork. He had guns all over the house, and his dad was big military, and he would pause it like every 10 minutes. Now, this is the M17 Flangler model with the L. A lot of people think it's the D. Like, gosh, can we get all these done now? And then watch.
So you're saying You're saying the ivory inlays on the fretboard, it was, instead of having a pair of them, it had a solid one at the 12th fret?
Yeah. So I realized I was kind of slipping into my buddy there with the guitar nerddom. And so all the details are on the website, losttothefuture.com. And they are doing an all-out hunt. They did. There was some journalists, the Lost Bass Project. They were looking for Paul McCartney's, was that Hofner from
his bass?
the early, yeah. And they found it. They found some guy that had it. I don't know where, but they're hoping to do the same thing here with Marty's red guitar. And I'm sure it has value from being such a big part of that scene in the movie, as well as and those guitars aren't castaways now. Grolsch makes a whole line of those big-bodied, cool guitars.
Yeah, they're neat and they're popular again. But
Ted
you're right. They don't
played one. His entire career, he played one of those. The Gibson Birdland. It's a big-bodied. I think maybe semi-hollow, but they're cool. And this
absolutely,
they're digging in all the corners to find this one. I hope they find it.
And that red color too is just sweet.
Hey, Mark, we've talked about me being colorblind. You just rubbing it in my face now.
It's the best, brightest red.
Now, what kind of red is it? Is the University of Oklahoma helmet red? Is it Georgia helmet red? A&M? All these reds are different. Mississippi State. I'm sick of it.
Kind of a Washington Commanders red.
I'm sick of that too.
Yeah, me too. But it's a nice red. It works on the guitar. It works tremendously good on the guitar.
Right. So also in the mix is Casio. Casio's doing a limited edition watch. It's a tribute to Marty's CA53W that he wore in the movie. It's got, it's done it with circuit styled keypad colors. Again, colors. I'm sick of you people.
That was the calculator watch, right?
Yeah, it's got a flux capacitor engraving on the back. Pre-orders are October 21st, and the price is around $120. And it has a VHS style packaging, which is kind of cool.
Oh man, I'm just looking at it right now. You can actually buy that model at Walmart for $22. It's obviously not the Back to the Future one.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when he had it. I remember thinking, it's kind of neat.
I had one. I had that exact watch.
Of course you did. That's got you written all over it.
Right. Didn't get anywhere with the girls, but man, I knew the answers to math questions.
No, but it got you on audition to the chess club. So
and the Dungeons and Dragons club. Yes.
Lord.
If anybody needed math done real quick.
Right. Yeah, that was staying ahead of the curve. Teachers weren't looking for you to do your equations on your wrist.
On my wrist, right.
So if
this was high school.
Travel to do what?
This was high school. My wrist was being used for other things.
Stop. All right.
What I was
so if you could,
I was playing piano. What were you talking about?
Piano. All right, commercial time. You know what this is. So many great comments about the demise of MTV last week. And boy, it sounds like we missed a bunch of great videos on our top 10 list. If you enjoy the podcast, send it on to your friends who you think would enjoy it. And be sure and hit the socials, like, follow, and send us a review. I'm older than my parents were when we were at the theater watching this movie, and they were reminiscing about when they were dating in the 1950s. Oh, boy. Time marches on. I think Metallica said something about that years ago. All right, back to it. Mark, if you could travel to one pop culture moment to experience live, what's your Hill Valley 1955?
July 13th, 1985, Wembley Stadium.
Oh, Live Aid.
Yes, sir.
Very nice. You would have seen Queen.
I would have gone up on stage. I would have knocked the drummer out with something heavy and taken his place.
You would have had to have a raspy voice and be able to belt out "I'm in love with my car."
Well, they would have been fun to watch.
Yeah. That's a great one.
Yeah, that would be where I would go.
Gosh, for me, Hands Across America, man, that was something.
Yeah, I don't think it worked the way they thought it worked, but it was a cool idea.
That soundtrack, man, the Huey Lewis, Journey, Michael Jackson, and Lionel Richie. Those four acts wrote a solid 1/3 of all the radio hits in the 1980s. Hall & Oates maybe. But they were all over the soundtrack, and it was excellent. It was very pop culture, very poppy, very 80s.
Was Prince in that list that you just gave?
No, it wasn't. Well, I said a solid third. There are two thirds left for the Pat Benatar's and the Prince to pick up the pieces.
You're right.
Okay. I left a wide net. So anyway, I'm looking forward to the to the comments on this one. The comments on the last episode trickled in. They came in slow, but then over the weekend it picked up, and there were some pretty great ones, and I appreciate those. I'm glad when they come in.
Comments are life. We need them.
So let's talk about the beginning, the idea here. First of all, the DeLorean is brilliant. I didn't know a DeLorean could do 88 miles an hour.
They can't.
Right. So that was part of the fantasy of the movie.
Yes. I don't think the real ones can even do 80.
Right.
They're not known for being fast.
But whenever you see one in the wild, is your first thought, Marty?
Yes, but simultaneously with I want one.
Right. And John DeLorean's crippling cocaine habit.
Yeah, maybe there'll still be some coke in the door.
I don't think he drove everyone, but if he did, there's some coke in the door.
There's some coke in the door. Well, I think he was importing coke into the country, right? By hiding it inside the body of the car.
Well,
isn't that what he was doing?
Look, man, he's got to. Those cars aren't cheap to build. You got to. I applaud his ingenuity.
Absolutely.
I mean, the guy was,
and they're bringing it back too. Somebody bought the brand, and they're bringing it back as a purely electric vehicle. And I wish they would just fall off a cliff for doing that.
Every other episode I have is about stuff stolen from our 80s childhoods. Radio Shack, we did that one.
Yes.
And they're going to bring it back, and they're going to slap a label on it because people our age have disposable income, and they're chasing when they were 14 and didn't have a mortgage and taxes, and life was great.
Yeah. They're chasing the nostalgia. And there's nothing nostalgic about an electric DeLorean.
That's right. Yeah. That's, gosh, is it the same? Well, it's not the same company. John's dead, but John, like I know him. DeLorean has passed away, sadly. But is anybody that was involved with the original run through a part of this deal, or is it a brand new? They just bought the name.
Man, I don't know, but I think if I recall, I could be wrong. Somebody just bought the name, I think, and they're just going to make it an EV and just cash in on the name. But they're going to give it the gull-wing doors, and they're going to make it probably look same, probably taillights, similar taillights, and the same in front, and probably the classic DMC logo on the front on the grill. I'm sure that'll all be there, but it's going to be a stupid electric vehicle, and that just ruins it.
Yeah. Yeah. Was it a Volvo engine? I think. I don't know. I read about them, and it was an unimpressive piece of machinery under the hood.
Yeah.
Under the stainless steel hood.
Yeah. Isn't it funny how all cars made out of all stainless steel are just ugly as get out?
Right. Yeah. The well done there on hitting the brakes.
Yeah. Caught that, huh?
Yeah. Except the Twinkie trailers, the Airstreams. Yeah.
No, those are beautiful.
Those kind of stuck around, but
those kind of look, and they're expensive. Those are great campers. Very, very well made.
Looks like a foil wrapped Twinkie.
Yeah, it looks like a shiny Tylenol.
We could do these all day. It looks more like a metal roly poly. Your turn. I won this. I won this. It's a shiny Bluetooth speaker. Anyway, we all know what that is. But yeah, that I don't know that I would automatically discount if it's a cool looking car and they've really captured the essence of it, and it's stainless and the same cool wheels. I would give it a look, but I don't want to plug in.
I'll give it a look, but you know what will happen, which is going to be kind of cool, is it will bring up the value of the existing ones that remain.
Right.
So that will happen, and that will at least be cool for collectors. It'll, increase the value for the existing DeLoreans that collectors have now.
I don't know. When they reintroduced the Bug, all those little 1972 Beetles kind of just stayed. I don't think it affected that price much. It might have.
Yeah, but they floated and the new ones didn't.
Did they really?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember they used to have ads.
How would somebody come to know that?
I think they built it that way on purpose so that as a safety thing. So if you went off the road, you wouldn't sink. It would literally, I mean, it wasn't a boat. You couldn't steer it and drive it around a lake. But if you went into a lake, it would float on the surface of the water and it wouldn't sink.
Man.
Kind of cool.
You never hear about the innovative and good things that Hitler did. It's always that other stuff.
Well, the other stuff's moderately overshadowing.
Right. Yeah. I get it, man. The Volkswagen was neat, but Adolf, bruh.
Dude, calm down.
That other stuff.
Yeah. Reel it in, buddy. Yeah.
That's right. So you were talking about something earlier, the actor for the movie, Michael J. Fox is such an iconic part of that movie. Doc Brown, those two together. I cannot imagine. It's like somebody else being Barney Fife, except not nuts. I can't imagine it.
Couldn't even think of it. Yeah.
So who was the actor?
The original actor was Eric Stoltz.
What was he in? I don't remember him.
God, I wish I had a chance ahead of time to tell you to not ask me that.
Future. I'll
not
tell you
Back
that.
to the Future. Not going to work here anymore.
Right. Yeah, I've read that as well. That they had several days, maybe weeks of filming, and he just wasn't working out. He was stiff, and he wouldn't do the character the way he was. Look, man, Spielberg and Zemeckis, if they tell me to wear a potato outfit and speak in an ancient Gaelic accent, I'm going to do it.
And he looked a lot like Michael J. Fox, at the time as well. His look is there. I'm looking at some scenes that they did shoot that obviously didn't make it to the movie. Very similar. Let's see. Stoltz was originally cast in the part of Marty McFly. Production began with him in late 1984. After several weeks of shooting, the filmmakers, led by Zemeckis and co-writer Bob Gale, determined that Stoltz's portrayal wasn't quite working for the tone they wanted. Then they brought in Michael J. Fox, who had been the first choice, but unavailable due to shooting Family Ties. So I guess 6 weeks into it, his commitment with Family Ties loosened up a little bit, and they were allowed to get him in.
I heard that he had to film at night a lot because Family Ties was still filming during the day.
That's crazy. But imagine that schedule.
Yeah, that had to be some great days for him, though, that to go from one set to another. And can you imagine being the director of Family Ties and he'd worked all night with Spielberg?
Oh,
or Zemeckis, like.
He's on the set at Family Ties, and he's like, guys, I got to bolt. I got to leave this #1 TV show to go work on my #1 movie.
Yeah. Zemeckis wouldn't have me talk to Mallory that way, but no, you know what? No big deal. I'll be back tomorrow, guys. That'd be a tough act to follow for that director.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But Eric Stoltz at the beginning.
That's got to be one that sticks with him.
Yeah, I mean, imagine being him today and just, watching the trilogy of the movies and thinking that could have been me. I just didn't nail it.
All right. What did we learn? Nothing?
What did we learn? I am, unfortunately, kind of stunted when it comes to learning things. So
I'll tell you something, and this is serious. When I watch that movie, there's a hint of sadness because there are things I set out to do and dreams that I had that I didn't hit. And I remember vividly at that age, when I saw that movie, I had a couple of things in front of me that I wanted to do and I didn't quite get it done. I have a shot at one, late in life. And look, the future isn't written yet, man. You could still go out and make it.
Well, nothing is more true than that. The future is not written yet. You have a 100% control over what's going to happen next.
So if you had goals, if you had some dreams you wanted to get done, man, mid-50s, 10 years from now, I'm going to be mid-60s, and I'm still not going to have it if I don't go
get it now
like I meant to do. And so that's it.
One thing I say a lot when I'm coaching athletes at the gym is, a lot of times people say, especially when it comes to fitness, they say something like, man, if I had just started 10 years ago, can you imagine what kind of shape I'd be in now? And what I tell them all the time is we are literally standing smack at 10 years ago right now.
Yeah.
We're standing exactly at 10 years ago from 10 years from now. So you are in a wonderful spot to be able to say, screw it. I'm going to drop what I'm doing and I'm going to begin doing that thing that I wanted to start doing. Because 10 years from now, you'll be an expert at it, or you'll be a completely different person or whatever. But you're standing 10 years from now, right now.
That's right. I'm lucky that I have a brother that's 10 years older than me, and I see him, and I keep that in mind all the time. this guy's doing everything he wants to do. And 10 years from now, I'm going to be that very age. Let's go, man.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Well,
so important.
Huey said it first, man, and the movie played it over and over. We are out of time. My tag doesn't say it, and it's not going to spin and be hot. But, man, what a great movie. I encourage listeners to go out and check it out. It's a 40-year anniversary. It is worth a rewatch. It is a very well-crafted series of movies. Frankly, the second one and third one are also very good.
I would almost say it's worth it to budget, set aside a Saturday afternoon and watch all three of them back to back.
College football. That is a February activity, my man, after the bowl games. But a great one. Probably going to do it.
I'll give you that. Yep, for sure.
Mark, thanks for your time, bud.
See you next time.
Great Scott!